Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and it's time for Thankful Thursday. So every Thursday or Wednesday night, whatever, I pray and I ask God, what do you want me to talk about? I don't know what you want me to talk about. So I don't know if I dreamt it or whatever, but today we're going to talk about healing. And I know there's a lot of us that have had maybe not the best of childhoods, or we've been in abusive relationships and whatever, and we tend to carry that on to our future things, whether it was when we were kids or whatever it might be. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say or what I'm gonna say, but maybe it's a healing for health too. I'm not sure. So I picked out 3 verses that I thought were very important. The first one is Psalms 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Which, that's a great thought. It really is. The next one is John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. And that's something we tend to do. Fear controls a lot of our life. The next one is Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. Because I know there's some place else in the Bible that says just be still. And, I know that that's a great thought, but we do have to take our own steps into healing, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever it happens to be. We do have to be still and let God do what he's going to do, but we also do need to work on ourselves as well. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do something really easy today. It's going to be fun and easy and hopefully tasty. I already did like a dozen eggs. I got one. They were due up by the 18th, so I'm going to make some more of those egg bites. Tom really, really liked them, the ones with the bacon and then the everything bagel seasoning. So I'm going to make some more of those up today. And then I'm going to make some for my egg salad sandwiches for lunch today, because my stomach's already growling. Anyways, let's start out in prayer. Heavenly Father, I ask that you wrap your arms around all of us. Listening to us, watching us, whatever it happens to be. Wrap your arms around them and lift them up, no matter what their problems might be. Maybe they don't have any problems and they just need to be closer to you. Whether people believe in you or not, it's nice to know that you watch over all of us. I ask that you keep my grandson Emmy in your arms today. He's been fevery and not feeling good, so if you could please take care of that baby for me. But people here, problems or not, we always need you. Even if it's from the past or the even distant past. Sometimes we really, really need you to pick us up. And sometimes we even need you to carry us. Because sometimes that pain from the past is so incredible that we just can't walk it alone. And we ask you in that time, will you please lift us up and carry us if we need to. Help us get through that to get to you. Because we know through you, everything can be okay. And you can fix everything. We don't know, or I guess we do know in some ways, that some of that we have to carry the burden on our own and help fix ourselves. But Lord, I ask that you be with us all and that you love us as much as we love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I'm not a praying person. I'm not that good. I'm sorry. I just usually talk to God. All right. So what we're going to do today, I need to melt some butter, and let me get that melted, and then I'll be right back, because I'm sure you don't want to see the microwave go ding, 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 ding. It's kind of boring. All right. So I'm always looking for stuff to put in Tom's lunch that isn't so gross for him, like, Little Debbie's and Hostess and stuff like that. So if I can find things that he'll like, you know what I mean, without all that crap, it's good. I know Courtney and I were just talking this morning. I mean, that man eats a lot. He eats a lot. And he's really not, he's got a belly, but he's only like 15 pounds over or whatever. So for as much as he eats, oh my gosh, I'd be like 600 pounds. But he wears it off, you know what I mean? Because he works really, really hard. So I like to try to get him stuff that I think that he might like. So I am going to make everything bagel pretzels today. So let's bring you over here. Now the first thing we need is 5 cups of pretzels. And you know what, whatever kind of pretzels you want, you can use the square ones, round ones. It says it doesn't work as good with the sticks. My aunt gave me a recipe that I really, really liked, but I'm not sure. I need to call her and find out what the one thing is. It's Orville Red and Dog or something. We stopped by her house and we went up to Manistee, and man, were those good. And I finally told her, I go, please take those away from me. Because they were that good. I mean, they were really that good. So I need to call her and find out what that means. Because I took a picture of it. Of the recipe. So I figured we'd try something different until I call her. Because I get to where I think I'm going to remember to call her and then I forget. I don't know if I'm ADHD or whatever, but I forget so many things. It's just crazy. So now you're going to use a 1/3 cup of melted butter. And you're going to put that over top of the pretzels. Now you want to make sure that you mix those good together and you get them covered really, really well. That's loud, isn't it? Sorry, guys. Make sure all those pretzels get covered really, really good. And I'm letting my oven preheat to 325 right now. Yeah, I think those are pretty covered. Then you want 3 tablespoons of the everything bagel seasoning. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of recipes for that stuff out there. A couple of them I might actually start to use because they look pretty dang good. Well, that's close enough. That's one. And 2. My son, actually, Bobby, he got me into this because he's like, Mom, you really got to try that. And I'm like, whatever, Robert. And I do like it. And so does Tom, actually. Now we're going to get that coated onto all of our pretzels. I figured we'd do something not so in today so that we actually have time to chat. Because by the time this posts, you will have seen my one challenge. I was asked for a collab, and I think I've got another video for her on the 22nd because she was short a few people. I love doing collabs, actually. They're so much fun. You get new subscribers and stuff, too, out of it, but it's just fun. It's just fun. Makes you kind of think out the box. So then you're going to put all of those pretzels on your baking pan. Cookie sheet, whatever you want to happen to call it. Make sure you get them, you know, straightened out as much as you can so that they're not all stuck to each other. Oh, I can't wait to try these. Maybe that'll be my lunch. That'd probably not be a good idea. Alright. My oven's not quite there yet, but close enough. We're going to put those in the oven for 10 minutes. Alrighty. Let's put all this over there out of the way. Ta-da! Already done dishes twice today. Guess there'll be a 3rd time. Anyway, I want to let you guys know I've got a lot of videos coming up. I haven't filmed them yet, but a lot of them for reviews. It's like, I think I have 7 or 8 reviews coming up. And I'm sorry that there's so many. If you don't want to watch them, you don't have to. But, yeah. And one actually gave me a, I don't know. It's only an $8 item, and they gave me a script to use and whatever and do a voiceover. I have no idea how to do a voiceover, so that's not going to happen. They'll have to accept my video the way it is, or they can have it back. All right, so during the prayer, you heard my grandson. When he got here yesterday morning, he kind of laid his head on my coffee table, and I go, "Come here, boo-boo, and let me, Grandma, take off your coat." And he came over, and just as he did, yeah, well, just say Grandma got initiated all down his shirt. Well, you know, his mom goes, "Well, if he's throwing up, he can't go to daycare." And I says, "I know, but we'll keep an eye on him," because it was at like 3:30 in the morning. And before we left, he had a Pop-Tart, and he had some little muffins his dad brought over, and 2 juices, and then he wanted a donut, so we stopped at the donut shop, and AJ read the sign, by the way. DD does it better, or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but he actually read the sign. I was so proud of him. But anyways, so he slept most of the day, and I told her, I said, he's tired. He's been up since like 2. And she goes, "Well, that's good," you know, and well, about 15 minutes before Courtney got there, he was hot and he was thrown up everywhere. So, and then this morning he was feverish too. So his dad's home with him today. But if you keep him in prayer, I can't stand when one of my babies are sick. Just, oh, it drives me crazy. But anyways, the healing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, but not a whole lot because it's very private and, you know. But growing up was not the most pleasant of things. It was not. It was not. A lot of different kinds of abuse. But anyway, and I think that's why I was so close to my grandma, because she was my protector, my guardian, if you, for lack of a better word, you know. She was awesome. And life could be hard at times. And, you know, the same person that abuses you, honestly, if you look at it, yes, they do a lot of damage. But at the same time, if you let God work in your life and you try to learn from those things, those very things that hurt you are the very things that's going to help you. He made me into a strong woman, and for that I'll always be grateful. Now, a lot of times you'll take that abuse into the next relationship because you think it's normal. And if any of you are in that, like I said before, if any of you are in an abusive relationship, get out. Get out. Make them get help, whatever it takes, but get out. You know, there's so much more available to people now than there was back then. Get out. There's some things that leopards don't change their spots or whatever they call that, but get out. Pushing is abuse as well. It's not just smacking the crap out of you. And there's a lot of emotional and mental abuse that people do. What do they call those people? Narcissists or something. There's also pain from maybe, you know, maybe you were teased a lot at school. Maybe you were teased by your friends. Maybe it's things you didn't even realize until later on in life that you're like, ugh, that's where that comes from. They say there's certain reasons why girls get fat and stay fat. There's all these different things. Like I say, I'm not going to go into detail, but I think we need to learn to heal from all of it. Good or bad, you know what I mean? Like, even if it was an illness, like I had to wear leg braces for 6 months on each legs. I had Oshkosh Slaughters in my kneecaps. And people would tease about that, because you couldn't bend your knee, so you'd have to walk with your leg cocked out like that. I got teased about that too. But anyways, or maybe you wore glasses, or you know what I mean. It doesn't always have to be like this heavy duty abuse that you feel like, oh my gosh, my dad used to beat me or whatever. Sometimes pain comes from different ways. And I remember, I told you guys the story about the guy that I found that had taken his own life, and I prayed to God, and the pain, I don't want to say the pain went away, but the pictures did. And sometimes we put so much on ourselves that we forget we have a heavenly Father that doesn't want us to hurt. He wants us to feel good, and he wants us to be happy. Do I know why he allows those things? No, I don't. Especially when you read in the Bible, and I think they say over 150 times it says to not hurt the children, to protect the kids. Why would he allow the pain? But I think there's reasons for everything. I don't think that, I'll say, oh, you were so lucky, but honestly, were you? Or was it predestined that that was supposed to happen? My oldest son used to say to me, he goes, Mom, this is how God works. And I go, okay, how does he work? And he goes, he writes down this plan on a great big chalkboard for us. And I go, okay. And he goes, and when we take the wrong road or a different road, he scratches that off there, and then he rewrites the new destiny. And I said, do you think that's how it works? And he goes, yeah, I do. And to some degree, I think he's right. Because God gave us free will, so we do what we want to do, not what he destined us to do. And maybe we never get back on that track that he wanted us to do. But maybe we do, and we just don't know it. How about that? Wow. Anyways, so healing. I think it's important that sometimes we take time for ourselves. I don't mean you have to go out and get your hair did and your nails did and do all that well, if you can afford it, go for it. I would love to get my hair highlighted too, but $100 is $100, and well, I don't have it. But anyway, so take those few minutes a day, even if it's, I know this sounds funny, but my little book that I read every day, I keep in the bathroom. And so I go into the bathroom to read my little book, not my Bible study, but my little book, and I pray to God, because that's my time, Well, not when the grandkids are here or when my kids were little. That was never my time, but it is now when they aren't here. And I can talk to God, and I can read, and I can do whatever, Take that time to talk to God. Talk to yourself. Decide for you what you need to do to heal from the past. Like, honestly, when I got divorced in 2006, and my dad died in 2009, and he said, you'll never get married again. And I told him, I said, you're probably right. Sorry, guys. My nose is itching. I don't want somebody complaining, going, that girl does nothing but itch her nose. But anyways, that stuffiness still has not went away. But I had been with a guy for 7 years. I had been married for 16. And you know what? I never wanted to get married again. No. Dating and having fun, that was a little different. But in any divorce, unless somebody's really, really mean and nasty and whatever, it's always two-sided. We don't want to admit that, but it's true. It's true. We all have a hand in it. And I decided in 2006 I was not going to take any crap with me again. And I had standards. I know, like, women will go, well, he needs to make this kind of money and that kind. No. It wasn't any of that. The only thing I did say is that A man has to bring to the relationship what I can bring. So if I'm making $25,000 a year, I expect him to make $25,000 a year. I went out with men that made really good money. It doesn't mean that I wanted to marry him. But I came up with this thing of the things I required because they were things I deserved. My kids deserved. And I had to heal. I didn't get married until 2013. So, you know, sometimes that healing, girls, I know you're like, I want to get married and whatever, but work on you so the person can love the true you, not the person that everybody else is molded to be. Because when people hurt you, when people abuse you, when people do wrong by you, they're molding you to be what they want you to be, not what you desire. I am a whole different person than I was when I was married before. And I'm a person that I really like. Well, there's times I hate myself too, don't get me wrong. But, you know, I like myself better now. And so Tom gets to love the real me. And our marriage is wonderful. Do we have our ups and downs? Sure we do. But there's things that if he starts to get a little bit out of line like that, I'll be like, there's a door there. I refuse to argue. We can disagree. We can, you know, go tit for tat. But I'm not going to be screamed at. He doesn't do that anyway. But I'm not going to be screamed at, yelled at, belittled, nothing. I will not do that to you. You don't do that to me. And that's part of the healing. God can help us as much as we want. I mean, as much as you allow him to do. But you also have to know what you'll allow to. And if it's physical pain and healing, we know how much that we can handle on our own. You know, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I handle this pain? Can I do whatever? You know, can I do it without drugs? Because Lord knows, a lot of people got addicted to all those drugs. You know, is there something I can do to, you know, do whatever? Like my back hasn't hurt as bad in the last couple weeks, and now it's back to hurting really, really bad. It came back like with a vengeance. It's like, ha ha, you thought you got a break, huh, girl? But we need to know how to handle our bodies as well. Today I'm just rambling on. I just know I am. I hope any of it makes sense. I do this every week, and I just ramble, and I just think, oh my gosh, people are going to so hate what I'm doing. Or did I say the wrong thing? Or people going to think I'm stupid because, you know, whatever. But I think that with healing, I think we all have gone through it and are going through it and will continue to go through it. It doesn't matter where the pain came from. It's what we do with that pain. How we grow from that pain. How we become the person that we're supposed to be, that God meant us to be. Tell you what, my patience has gotten so good. Well, not so good, but much better than it's ever been. There's things that I see in myself that are changing. And you know what? There's things I see in myself changing because of you guys. And it feels good. It's like you're bringing out this person in me. And like I told Tom the other day, I know I need to make more money and I need to get back to work. And I says, but you really, really made me want to be just a housewife. And I never thought I'd be able to say that to somebody. Well, you know, a part of me always thought it, but I've never been able to do it. And I still make an income, so, you know, I'm not that living off my man kind of woman. It's not like that at all. But, you know, I've come to this part in my life. I know a lot of feminists are going to hate me for this, but I just want to be a housewife. I want to be a mother and a grandmother and a housewife. I want to do my YouTube channel, and I want to spread joy. I don't want to be out in the knockdown, drag down, fighting kind of crap that you have to do in sales. I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to be those few things. And I never thought that I'd be able to heal enough to be able to do that. Kind of weird, isn't it? I never thought I could be with a man that I would trust enough to put my life and everyone else's in his hands. Sorry. I thought I'd always have to just depend on me and God. And he sent me a good one. He'll work himself to the bones to make sure that we have what we need. We may not have all the extras, but we have what we need. And that came through healing. To know that I deserved that. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I just had to compose myself a little bit. I don't want you to think that all men hurt. I had an amazing grandfather. I had an uncle that I named Bobby after. And a cousin that was just amazing. And there's been other good men along the way too. So I'm not man bashing. Not by any means. But it's taken a long time to do healing. And I wanted to put out my part of it because it continues to help me to heal when you talk about it sometimes. And not just that, but maybe it'll resonate with somebody else that needs some healing. And maybe it will give someone else the strength to be able to heal and not feel ashamed about it. Whether you're male, female, it doesn't matter. Even if you thought you had the most perfect life, sometimes there's things that really get to people and it hurts them. And people may not even realize it. But I think if we go to God first and say, hey, I can't do this on my own. I need you. Because God knows what's wrong with us. He knows what's wrong with every one of us. He knows these things. But it's like you wanting something from your husband and you don't tell him what it is. And then you're mad at him because you can't he couldn't figure it out. Well, you know, if you give them a roadmap, they can tend to find out and figure it out. So I think we need to do the same thing with God, is that we know things that we need to work on. We know things that we need to heal from. And we need to go to him and say, hey, I need your help with this. I really, really need your help with this. Can you be my father and get me through this? Or show me how to do it. He may not talk out loud to us, you know, and like when I say God talks to me, whatever, I don't mean like we sit down and have a conversation. It's just, you know, you get that feeling or you get that, and I'm sure a lot of you know that. You just get that feeling that, you know, like when people say, like my son doesn't believe in God anymore. He doesn't exist. Well, in my heart and mind, he does. I can feel him everywhere I go. Every time you look at a beautiful flower, or like right now I got lilacs on my tree, you know, and I look at that and I think, that couldn't have came from pond scum. My son hates when I say that too, by the way, but the beauty around us, even in a city, you can find beauty. Lets us know that he exists. We had this talk the other day, and it's like I told him, I said, it's faith. It's me knowing in my heart of hearts that there's a God and that he's there for me. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and I've survived every bit of it. Somebody got me through it, because sometimes I certainly wasn't strong enough to do it. So somebody did it for me. All right, so enough of that gabbing on. So look at these, aren't they beautiful? So let's try one. Not that I wouldn't try any beforehand. Not at all. You guys gotta try this. So good. They are so good. I know you're using some butter, but drinking lemonade. Feels good to swallow anything, honestly. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bowl here. Yes, it took me a little bit longer to compose myself than I thought it would. So they're cool. I don't mean to become a cryy baby in front of you guys, because it's pretty embarrassing, actually. But sometimes, you know, when you visit old wounds, sometimes that's all you can do is cry it out, you know. I always told my boys, you know, I didn't want them to be whiners either, but, you know, men cry too. And when you lock it all in there and you don't let it out, that's when you become, I think, not so good men. Because you don't let it out. I'm going to put that in a little baggie, what I got left. So I'm going to put it in here. And then he can take as much as he wants, and he can share with his friends. That's usually when he gets a big thing like that. That's what he does. He takes it to work and he shares. Tom is a good man. He is a pain in my butt sometimes, but he's a good man. And I am so blessed that God finally sent me someone that could be my helpmate, my everything too. And I could be his. He had a good marriage, but he's like, you and I get along so much better, and that feels good. It feels good. So take time today to talk to God or whoever you believe in and ask them to help you heal. Whether it's physical, mental, emotional, I don't know, spiritual, whatever it is. Take that time to be you and to heal. And be the true you. Because the true you, we all love. I promise. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I'll see you at supper.